a small plate or a dish. I've already found the center. I have a jig, has a nail that you put in the center. Tap it. It stands up. Now, you have a limited distance. If you got a thin faceplate, you need to check to be sure you got enough here to take out the inside of the plate. This will slide right over the dowel rod. To make the screw go better, you can always wax it, but this is a fairly soft wood. These are each and a quarter. Do two opposite sides. Then you can take out your center finder. Put the other two screws. If you were doing oak, you might even have to drill to get the screws in. This is yellow poplar. That's complete. Now we're going to put this on. Be sure it's tight. Just your two wrists. Be sure to turn. And then I'm worried about safety. This is a revolving center. You roll it in. Be sure it's locked. You got 2 points holding that, the center and the 4 screws. So the odds of it coming off is greater. Now this is going to be the bottom. So I'm going to round the, first thing I'm going to make it round and take this around the bottom. This little gouge, it's called I call it a scuby gouge, okay? 2 wrists drop down, so I'm gonna move it up back to where it was. I'm gonna move it closer, lock it in place, be sure it turns. You can also use a bowl gouge. Has to have a burr. You need to tilt it. It makes it a smoother cut. Okay, I'm gonna cut that off. It's round. I'm gonna move the faceplate to where I can get the rest of the curve. Be sure it turns. The bowl gouge, you have to tilt it up where you can get that burr to take the wood. Okay. Nice and round. Back this off. I'm going to use the bowl gouge. I'm going to bring it up almost to the center. Then I'm going to use the scraper or bowl gouge. Go. You're going to okay, I'm going to cut that off. This is going to be taken out, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to use a skew to help smooth that out. Okay, that's got a little. I'm going to take a little more of that off. I believe the skew will work. That's nice and clear. Take down the tail stop. Take the parting. First thing, I'm going to cut the rest of that flat with the scraper or a bowl gouge. Okay, I'm going to take the parting tool. You can go about 1/8 of an inch and it'll hold, but for safety purposes, I'm going a little bit deeper. That's about 3/16. Now, you can take the scraper and take out the center. I'm going to take the skew turn it over. And you got that complete. Now, we're going to use the sanding jig. And I'm going to start with 60 grit. These little pads are soft. You can buy them hard and soft. You need a soft one. Move this out of the way. Hold it. If you stick it in, it'll rotate. You know, there's any sanding. You need to hold this inside the circle here. I need to give credit to my industrial arts teacher who taught me to turn. He's in his 90s and he's still living. I started turning when I was a 9th grader. All right, this is the hut wax. I'll put some in the inside of the circle. I use this basically because it's easy to put on. It's also easy to finish. It takes some pressure. You notice it comes off on the rag, but it still leaves a high gloss. All right, I'll cut that off and see how that looks. Look all the way around. It's still got a little wax, so I'll turn it back on. Go a little further. And then I'll take the corner. And get down into that curve. Then I can do this for the center. Make one more pass. The wax is off. Now I'll take it off. Hold your hand underneath, because if it drops on the lathe, it'll put a dented area. Take the face plate off. Put the 4-jaw chuck back on. Be sure it's snug. You're going to run this down till it goes inside the back circle. Make sure it's snug. Because I don't want that in my face. Take the tail stock with the revolving center. Snug. Unlock it. Tighten it up. Just enough. This holding area between the two now, that's more of a safety. Be sure it turns. I'm going to use the gouge again. Take your time. I'm gonna cut it off. I'm gonna move this to where it's not touching my center. Be sure it turns. Take out this most of the center. Now I'm going to check to see if my screw holes are gone. My screw holes are gone. So I can work this a little bit thinner. I also have a depth gauge, which is a jig I made. Put it across here, take it and lay it up here. I still got about 1/4 of an inch that I can still take down. You don't want to go through the bottom. Cut that off, get those shavings out of the way. Okay. Move the tails, stop. Move that over, make sure it turns. Now I'll take out that center section. Now you can use the depth gauge. I still go a little more. I'll do that when I use the bowl gouge. Move that in, tilt it slightly, get it close, be sure it'll turn. Take the bowl gouge. I hear something touching, so I'll move that out slightly. I'll take out some more. I'm not going to take a chance. Now I want the center flat. Some people end up having the center of the bowl sticking up. Take the skew. All right, that's center. Now I'll blend that in with the bowl gas. Now I'm ready to sand. I'm going to use some 40 grit sandpaper in the middle before I use the sanding device. Let's see how we're doing. It looks pretty good. Still needs a little in the curve here. Now we'll go to 400. Okay, that completes the sanding. I'm gonna wipe this off a little. Back to the hot wax. And then enjoy the shiny have to use pressure, because this is a pressure friction like polish. It's always harder to do the center, because when you get to the center and then go over the hump, it wants to jerk. Cut it off and check. I don't see any wax. I see a little bit of area that I need to buff. We do that area a little. cut it off and check it. Now, I'll show you two other items that I've turned. This is an oak plate put together with two pieces and then turned. Then this red is called liming. I used acrylic paint. I put it on, then took a damp rag and went over it, let it set overnight, and then I finished that one out. And this is a much larger bowl, and this one happened to be turned out of sycamore. It has some pink, and then this is spalding. There are holes, but I don't feel holes. I think it gives it character. That's a 12-inch, and this is a 12-inch. And this one is approximately 9. This is a 10-inch lathe, 5 inches from the center to there. If you tried to turn a 10-inch bowl and you didn't get it perfect in the center, it wouldn't rotate. So if you're going to do a 10, go down about 1/4 of an inch and make it 9 3/4 across rather than 10. Always enjoyed turning. I've been turning a long time, approximately 50 years or more, and I enjoy it every day. All right, that completes.